Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to Better in Stereo, a monthly podcast in collaboration between the Walleye and Blueprints. I'm Rebekah Skochinski.
And I'm Shannon Lepere.
And we will be your hosts. Joining us today is Sara Kae, an Ojibwe Cree singer-songwriter who is just back from the Live from the Rock Folk Festival and is working on some new music. She sat down with us to talk about what she's been up to. Okay, are you ready? Should we take these off?
It doesn't matter. I'm good. Do you want to just keep them on? Do you like it?
Try them off. What do you think?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I think off.
I think
off just feels a little more casual.
Casual.
Cashy.
Okay.
I love a cash vibe.
All right. You were live at the Red Rock Folk Fest this weekend. Can you tell us about your experience?
Being around that many musicians who are so talented and just love what they do inspired me so much. So it was nice to see people come out and support me, but I was also just happy to be there and listen to other people play. And we all know how it is as musicians. It's a hard go, and we're all here because we love music. So it was just so nice to connect on that level with other people.
Gotcha. And was that your first time playing?
Yeah, at Red Rock Folk Festival. Yeah. I had never actually been until the previous year. My friend was like, you have to come. And I was like, I know, I've been meaning to get out. I just didn't drive going in high school a lot. I didn't have my own vehicle. So it was I missed it. And then I moved away to college. And then finally it worked out where I had someone who was going, who was a vet and loved it. And so she showed me the ropes. And that year I was like, you know what? I want to play here. And then the following year they sent me an email and it was so special.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
I manifested it, I like to believe.
How many sets did you do, Sara?
So we did these things called workshops, and the workshops are you get together with a couple other musicians who are also at Red Rock, and then it's essentially doing a writer's round, and people can join in if they want on stage and stuff. And we did 2 of those, and I shared some songs that I've written specifically for these workshops, and I was like, okay, I'm going to write new material. It's kind of a challenge. So I wrote some new music and shared that there, which was a little nerve-wracking because I didn't have a lot of time to work out the kinks. So I did that, and then I did a full set on the Saturday, which was 45 minutes, and all my original music that I did have time to kind of work through beforehand. Awesome. Yeah, with the full band.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah,
so
it was so fun.
You've been busy. We're catching you obviously just after
Live
from the Rock, and you're also going to be performing live at the Waterfront.
Yes.
In a few weeks.
Yes.
I think.
August 28th.
Okay.
And I'm really excited for that one too because, like I said, we're doing all this new material that I've really accumulated over the last, I want to say, 8 months. Back in January, I was like, you know what? I was doing a lot of pop music before, but it wasn't really fueling me the same way. And then I was just picking up my guitar and writing these songs, and then they just kept coming. And I was like, oh my goodness, I think I found something that really fits what I'm trying to put out there. And before it was a lot of working through the kinks, and now it just feels like it's coming a lot more naturally. So I was like, I think I found my element, and I've just been writing a lot more. So it's been really nice, performing this music live and seeing how people react to it. And it's allowing me to practice my lyricism a lot more. And that's something that's super important to me in my music.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. And to have that much material to play 45 minutes.
I've always wanted that. That was always my dream. I was like, oh, I want to be able to do a full set of full music. And then I could never write enough songs, it felt like. And now I'm like, oh my goodness, I have too many songs because they're oh, you have 45 minutes, hard, strict. You can't go over it. So I have to kind of really pick the favorites now, which I do have them, I have to say.
From your fans or from you?
From myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my favorite song. I don't know if you like it, but
the timing really worked out well then that you happened to have this new material just as you had an opportunity, or did you feel that, like you said, you were preparing for the workshops? Did you feel like you sometimes need that little bit of a deadline to...
I'm back and forth. I think I was so inspired this last year, and a lot has happened. I always say developmentally with myself. I turned 25 this year, and I feel like I've really matured and kind of honed into who I want to be in this world and as a musician. And so I've just been writing because I've been feeling inspired, but then having all these gigs coming up really pushed me that I should have a set of music that I feel proud of and excited to share, because I do struggle with my confidence at times, and I never feel adequate in a lot of spaces. And having music that makes me feel good has really elevated my performance and how I project myself out there. And I think that just comes with age as well. I've been noticing every year seems to get better and better. So I've just been noticing that having this content that feels really good, this music that I can really relate to myself, and I'm hoping that other people can as well.
So are you working towards perhaps an EP?
Yeah, so I have an EP coming out. I'm saying September 27th, and I feel very confident that I'm going to make that date. I'm finishing up with Rob Nickerson here in town, who's a local guy, very cool guy. I love him so much and the work that he does. Like, he's just so organic and easy to work with. Like, and I think that's something that's made me feel comfortable during this process. Like, recording is so intimate and at times awkward and vulnerable. And so he is great at making me feel as if I did my best. And I do, but sometimes like you don't always feel that way. But he's like, you know what, that sounded great. That we can work with that. Like, he makes me feel good while I'm recording, and I've really enjoyed that process with him. So we have like a 4-song EP. We have 2 basically mixed. The other 2 are almost there, but it's coming up where we have to put it up to like get ready to release. But September 27th, 4 new songs. It's kind of like a coming of age, I like to say, EP.
Oh,
and in all your new style.
Yeah.
Like in your more,
I think authentic style.
Authentic, like you found your...
Yeah. I found a pair of cowboy
vibe.
boots, and I think that's what did it. I was just like, put them on. I was like, wait a second. I'm trying to be Miley Cyrus now. Like, circa 2009, Hannah Montana, the movie.
I love it. Did you perform with the boots?
I did perform with the boots.
It's a persona.
It's true. And like, clothing allows you to like express yourself. And I feel like I'm just trying to figure out what makes me feel good. And I'm getting there. I'm getting there through like the clothing, through the music. Just a lot of things have happened that have made me feel really good about who I'm becoming as a person, even overall.
That sounds
Very
so nice.
exciting.
That's
Very
exciting.
exciting.
I love that music also is just like a part of that journey, and you can see it through music. Like, I'm able to kind of document that journey through the songs that I write. So I find that very special as a creative person. It's like, oh, this is where I started, and this is kind of where I'm at. And you can see that just like
That progression.
yeah, through that through the songs, honestly.
Yeah, and to like look back and be like, whoa, remember like the first song I ever wrote?
Yeah, which
And then
was
you're
pretty
like,
terrible.
Well, I mean, it probably wasn't terrible, but like if you compare it to now, like you have your style, you have like you're getting figured out and everything, and then be like, oh.
The first song is pretty hilarious, and it's always like, I am sad. Like, it's just very in your face of like what is happening. And
What was it about, if I can ask?
The first song I'm trying to think of, I think I wrote it was called, I want to say I wrote so many songs, but one that really like I started performing was called Unbreakable, and it was just about like bullying. My friend had been bullied really badly, and I was like writing a song for her. And my dad to this day is like, you need to bring back Unbreakable. Is it like
bad? Is it like a joke?
But
Not a joke.
But it's kind of a joke to me. But to my dad, he's like that could be a hit. Like in his head,
he loves it.
He loves it.
Oh,
and
I love that.
I think I was like 11 when I wrote it.
He was like your biggest fan, though.
Yeah, he was probably like, oh, this is like so cute. Like, wow. But he'll still be like, you should do like a rewrite of that. And I'm like,
You were 11?
I was very, I
Oh
was
my
very
God,
young.
that's so cute.
I definitely wrote songs before that, but like this was a start to finish and a performed song. So it's very like in my mind, very much so. But yeah, I'm sorry, Dad, that will not be making it to the set list anytime soon or ever.
Although maybe it'll just like bust out one day.
I hope he never shows the videos.
I was going to say, there's
definitely-
probably already a recording.
Yeah, there's
of
definitely a
it.
recording. It's like, I'm unbreakable, like that style. So that's kind of the other thing is I didn't really like show them right away.
Well,
It was
no,
like,
you just did it on your own. Like,
yeah,
oh, yeah.
I'm gonna hide this. And then one day I kind of came down and I was like, Dad, this is like kind of what I want to do. And then he was like, this is cool. Let's run with it.
Well, speaking of which, like, how is it to be Ron Kuniski's daughter?
Oh my
what's
goodness.
What's the vibe on that one?
Mixed.
he's a funny man.
He is a funny man. It's a big shoes to fill in that sense. He is a character. I think that's the best way to describe him. And I look a lot like my father. Like I very much so resemble my dad through and through. And so anywhere I used to go growing up, and this is also why I stayed out of trouble, is that people knew, are you Ron's daughter?
Oh, yeah.
And
they
I
were
was
watching.
They knew. So I was never doing anything silly because I'd be like, I can't be crazy because it's going to get back to my dad. And my friends would be like, you're being dramatic. We'd be out maybe doing something we shouldn't have been doing. And then someone's like, hey, you Ron's daughter? And I said, we're going home. We're going home right now.
They don't, no,
Like
we're out.
we are up to nothing and we're going home and we're watching a movie like we should be because we're 15. And so
But I mean, did you get some of the comedic values from him? Because you said you were silly.
I like to think that I'm funny, but I don't know. I hate saying that. Like, I think I'm funny because it's just like
everyone's funny in their own way.
Exactly. So I'll let other people be the verdict of that. But I like to be a jokester, whether or not they hit or not.
Do you think your dad is funny?
I do. I think we have sometimes different senses of humor. But you know what? He's goofy, and I think that's why I got that goofiness from. And so I do think he's funny. I want to make sure that he knows if he's listening.
Oh, absolutely. I think he's hilarious.
We make jokes about dad jokes, but like literally.
But like he does tell jokes.
He does tell jokes, and so many people know him like for that, but also as like being a drug and alcohol counselor. So it's a very like conflicting, I feel like, career path. So it's been interesting.
It's a little bit of both sides. But like your dad, he plays music too, right?
Yeah.
So like did that sort of like
100%.
Yeah, inspire you as you were little?
Yeah. He played like a lot of Johnny Cash and like Hank Williams growing up. And so I think that also goes back to like where I'm at now with the cowboy boots and all of that good stuff. Like I loved that growing up and doing just like little blues lines that he would riff on. And I just remember feeling so good when he played music in the house that like I kind of wanted to find my own world in that. And he encouraged it. He always wanted to play music professionally growing up, and I just don't think he had the same support that I do from them, my parents, both of them. And so I was like, oh, I want to do this. And he was like, yep, we'll get you the guitar, we'll get you the piano. I was a very expensive kid for that.
Instruments,
lessons, schooling, like they paid for everything. And so my parents struggled financially. And so to think that while they were struggling financially, I didn't really notice, and I didn't feel like I wasn't at that big of a disadvantage. They were always like working their hardest to make sure I could get the things that I needed. And I think that's like parenthood, and I hope to be able to do that if and when I choose to have children myself.
My son is definitely spoiled.
Good.
I only have one, but I can spoil him.
Along those lines a little bit, so your stage name, artist name is Sara Kae.
Yeah.
But you're a Knutski.
I am a Knutski.
I'm a Skochinski. So I know it's like to have like a name where people are like, what's your name? And I just start spelling.
Yeah.
Is there any interesting story behind why you decided to...
It was just essentially because I knew Knutski was a longer name to spell.
Sorry, am I saying it wrong?
I said it wrong too.
It's okay. I bounce between Knutski and Knutski.
Okay.
I accept both. We don't really know the proper pronunciation either because it was spelt after my relatives came over and settled in Canada. And so there is some kind of like ambiguousness around the spelling. And it could be completely wrong how we're even spelling it now.
But you went with Knutski, so I'm going to...
Yeah, we'll go with Knutski.
It's okay. I switched too. But honestly, like, I don't know. And that's like, I have a lot of, like, I have Ojibwe grandparents mainly, but on my European side of the family, they're kind of like a mixture of a lot of things. And so that side to me is a little bit more gray. I just don't know as much about it. And so for me, I'm like, Knutski. I actually have no clue. So I'm pretty well accepting of all.
Right. So did you shorten your stage name just so that
people could spell it and say it? And like, even like you're saying, like, I don't know how to say it. And so neither did I really. So I was like, you know what, let's go with something that's easy and people will remember and be able to like write it down, or just even if I'm like Sara Kae. And they're like, okay, I can move on with my day. And honestly, like Sara Knutski did not feel like it had the ring to it. And so when I was in college, I was like, what do I do? And I was with somebody at the time, and I was like, I don't want to be Kae because I feel like that's probably more common. And then they're like, oh, why don't you do Kae? And I was like, oh, that would work. So it's not really like a crazy story. I was sitting in an H&M change room at the time, and we were discussing through the change room, and he was like, yeah, you should just do Kae. And I said, okay, I'll do that.
See, but you remember that moment.
That's true.
Cool.
And it really suits you.
Thank you.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it really suits you.
Thank you.
What was your favorite book growing up, or like one of your favorite books?
Okay, so Secrets of Droon was like one of the first series I read, which is about a magical staircase underneath this kid's basement. And so I used to read all of the books, and my mom was really big on making sure I get the next one at the library. And so I love public libraries because that's where I spent a lot of my childhood. It was like, okay, make sure you get enough books because we're not going to be back for a week. And so we'd like leave with piles and piles and piles of books. And that's kind of where I fell in love with reading, was Secrets of Droon. And it was like, this like fantasy magical world. And so Secrets of Droon, if you have like kids and like around the age of, I don't know. I don't know how old I was when I read these books, but they're like young kid books.
Oh, maybe I should
like
tell
chapter
my son
books.
about
Yeah,
them.
you'd probably be able to read them. Everyone's at different levels of reading.
Yeah, it's true.
But Secrets of Droon goes hard.
What are some small things in your day that make your day better? Like something little that you do that just like makes it a little extra.
I love to buy coffee, even though I shouldn't. Like I should just make it at home. But
I will endorse this.
Yeah,
a
good coffee makes my day better. I would like to say a breakfast. I think I can't go without a breakfast. Some people don't like breakfast. I'm pretty pro like getting a hard, heavy breakfast in the morning. Not pancakes. I despise anyone who eats pancakes.
Are pancakes
in the
a
morning.
meal?
That's what I'm saying.
Sugary, you know.
Well, they just sort of fill you up, but there's nothing there that's going to like sustain you.
Feeling sick to your stomach.
Yeah.
I can't get down with the pancakes, but I can get down with a big old hearty breakfast. That's like I do a tofu scramble a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, the tofu scramble sounds amazing.
Yeah,
it's really good now.
I know.
Okay.
I could go for
next time
some of that.
boots, and then we will meet
bring
for
you
tofu scramble.
And I also could always go for coffee any time of day.
Yes.
I'm like a 9 p.m. coffee drinker.
Yeah.
I'm just crazy.
Maybe I'll probably go for the decaf, but I'll be there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to do decaf after a certain hour.
Yeah, I'm realizing that. That's another thing with age. I'm like I used to be able to pound them back at whatever time, but now I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm like up till 12 or 1.
Like just wide-eyed. Oh, me too.
It does not affect me. I don't know. There's something weird going on.
I know. I still think
I'm kind of jealous though.
I wish I could do it because I'd love to have
Nightcap.
Yeah.
A little pie.
It feels very extra, like the word we were using, bougie.
Yes.
Bougie.
There it is.
Yes.
I like it. I'm glad that bougie made it into this right now. It's hilarious.
If it stays, that's another thing.
I know.
That's a bigger question.
What's the best advice you've ever received? Or some good advice?
I might need 1 second with that.
Sure.
I've received so much good advice in my life. And I've had so many amazing role models that I'm like, oh my goodness, who do I choose? I think I don't know, it's not verbatim of like what my parents have said to me. It's just like, if you want something, you got to work hard for it. And realizing in life that that's very much so true is that if you really want to make music your thing, music's got to be your thing. And I'm glad he was pretty adamant on that at a young age, because now I get to kind of do what I want to do to some capacity and hopefully keep growing from there. But it's true, like that hard work is so essential, and especially in creative fields, like everybody is trying to make it and do music. So if you want to make this your career, you got to put it first. And so I learned that young, and it's really helped me to where I am today and feeling good in where I am today.
Good. Yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah,
it's true.
I'll thank mom and dad for that one. Yeah, not verbatim, not verbatim what they said, but it might have been a couple more swears in there or whatever because it's Ron, but
it was colorful.
Yeah,
it's kind of spicy.
It was spicy advice, but it was along those lines.
Okay, another question for you: what artist are you currently listening to that you really love?
Really love right now, Boy Golden. He was playing at Live at the Waterfront, and I actually got to catch his set. Super cool music, and I think good for summer vibes, like very much so that summer vibes, window down kind of vibe.
Oh, I love that.
So I've been listening a lot of him, and I like his lyricism, and I also like that in one of his songs he talks about Brandon, Manitoba, and I feel like that's like putting a location in a song that maybe isn't familiar with everyone is such a cool move. Yeah. And so it really inspired one of my songs that I wrote recently that's about Nipigon. And so I was like, I put literally Nipigon in a song, and it's the whole concept of the song, and I was like, thank you, Boy Golden, because I was like, I could do this. I could put Nipigon in a song and make it work.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not that you need permission, but that's what's wonderful about another artist is that you go, oh, I can do that.
I can do that.
And then you find a way. Like it just gives you that idea.
Yeah, it really did inspire me. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna run with it. And they also dressed all so cool.
Oh, fun.
Like the artists themselves, like everyone playing on stage looked like I wanted to wear every single one of their outfits.
What was the style?
One of them was wearing, like the Boy Golden was wearing, what do you call that? Coveralls. And I actually went out and bought a pair of coveralls because of this look.
See, we were talking about coveralls.
Super cool.
And we said maybe this should be our uniform for the podcast.
I think you should. I actually got a pair, $25 at Tooltown.
Oh, like legit coveralls.
Like they're Dickies.
Did you see us just like...
They were for sale, like Dickies, overalls, Dickies, coveralls.
Yes.
They might not still be there, but they were doing a sale and they were outside. And I was like, no way. So I went and picked up coveralls at Tooltown.
Nice. What color?
They're black. black Dickies.
That's
ones.
fun.
And I think they look
fun.
cool. I think I feel and look cool in them. So
I concur. I can picture it.
I have about 4 pairs of those type.
do?
They're
Yeah.
short sleeve. They're fun.
I need a short sleeve. They're long sleeve, and it's a little warm.
But for fall, it would be perfect.
I haven't got my first pair yet, but I feel like once I do, I'm going to be in the...
You're going to be in the club.
I think we're going to
Coverall club. Coverall
This will
club.
be our
Coverall
like
club.
vibe.
This is a question from Blueprints. Use my radio voice.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. As a CBC reporter and a musician, which side of the mic do you prefer to be on?
Oh, that's a tough question. I'm going to say music because that's like my first love, but I have really enjoyed learning the craft of journalism. It's been a challenge, and I've felt smarter in the last bit because I'm doing this. And I've never been bad at like academics, but I've always been the creative kid. So I was like, I'm not bad at school, but I never excelled per se. Like I really rode, like I did get on honor roll, but I rolled like that bottom end of it. And now I feel like I'm like, wow, maybe I'm actually kind of like a smarty pants. So the confidence has been gaining more intelligence through the journey. So I do enjoy being on that side of the mic, but music is music, right? Music is something that makes me feel so good. So
yeah, if you've got that gift, how can you not?
I can't lie. Yeah. I don't want to lie to you guys. As much as CBC, I'm sorry, but I do want to play my songs.
Okay, I think we're going to go into a speed round, which is...
Oh, I'm so not speedy.
Okay. First question, Taylor Swift or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Your favorite season?
Oh, this one's hard. I want to say fall.
Okay.
Texting or talking on the phone?
I'm a notorious talker on the phone, and my like everyone hates that about me, I think. Because I'll be like, they'll try and text me, and I'm like, yeah, what's up? Like, I'm already ringing them. They're like, can you be a normal person and not
just
call me?
Just text back.
Yeah,
I'm a texter for sure.
I love calling.
Yeah, I have a friend like that too. Yeah. And she's like, can I call you right now, actually?
Yeah, and then we'll talk for like 2 hours, and we're like, we don't have the time for this. But
I'm like, I did all my chores.
Yeah. That's why I texted you. I didn't want to.
We try to tell ourselves it's going to be faster than texting, but then we're on the phone for an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I do love talking on the phone.
I love it. I'm the same.
Yeah. I love a good phone call.
I do too.
Chit chat.
Call me old school.
Yeah.
I will.
We will. Have you ever worn socks with sandals?
Yes. I love socks and sandals. I hate people that diss it. I think it's cute. Even if it's like kind of ugly, it's cute. So
well, yeah,
I agree. I even like
haters gonna hate.
I even like the look of like the little dressy shoe with the little short like sock.
Yeah.
Have you seen those socks that are like see-through and they have like embroidery on them?
Yes, those are cute.
Those are cute. Those would be cute with sandals.
Like my friend just wore like platform Tevas with like wool socks, and I thought it looked super cute.
I like that look too.
Like, and I know some people might not agree, but I don't care about them. Just kidding.
I just feel like that's a very NWO question.
Yes, but I don't know.
Sometimes your feet are cold and you're already wearing the sandals.
I might not bust them out in all case scenarios, but I do support the socks and sandals look. There's a time and a place.
I agree.
Early bird or night owl?
Both. I hate sleeping. I feel like I'm missing out on so much. People think it's just like, that's criminal of me, I think. I love nighttime because I feel like it's just so fun and like cool and creepy. But morning time is so beautiful. You know, like you get two different vibes. But I don't like sleeping because I feel like I get FOMO. I try to make it work for me. If I'm not going to sleep, at least I better get a song out of it.
Right? I think we all do that.
The creative people, I feel, all have a little something. Like, you know, you're just thinking something else,
dreaming. I say a little extra spice, right?
A little spice.
Spice.
Yeah.
What is your go-to lazy dinner?
I love a buttered noodle. Like, so good. I also love just plain rice with soy sauce.
Same way.
Or just plain rice with butter.
Oh, you do it with butter?
Yes,
I haven't
butter.
done that. I haven't done that too much.
But I do like plain noodles. I like spicy
like buttered
food.
noodles and like maybe a salt and pepper if I'm feeling crazy.
You just know it's always going to taste like the same.
It's always going to taste like buttered noodles. Mm-hmm. It's not like you can't mess it up. That's what I mean. I'm not a chef. That's why I do it. It's not necessarily because it's always the best thing. It's just because I know I can make it.
And it's satisfying. Like that's the thing. It's comforting.
And I could do the full bag. I could do the full bag and probably another one. Like I can really eat.
Who is the one person you can talk to about anything? Ooh.
Can I name more than one?
I mean, if you've got a tie going on.
Okay.
And if you can clarify, like I guess qualify why.
Okay. I want to say like my partner. I can talk to like almost anything with my partner Wyatt. He plays music with me too, so he's really doubled down in numerous aspects of my life. And then I'm going to say my friend Julia Mills, because there is not a thing that we keep off the table. We put it on there and we like chat and we can talk for hours. And we've been friends, like best friends for quite a while now. And I feel like I can come to her about anything and be like, what do you think about this? And we can just go through it. So my partner for sure, but I think on a personal girlfriend level, anything and everything, Julie and I will go into it. Silly, not silly, serious, whatever it is, she's there. And so I really do appreciate her friendship. She's a fellow creative, so she also gets like how our minds work, and that sometimes it takes a little wandering to get where you need to go. So she's down for the long conversations.
It's good to have a friend like that.
Yeah, she's great.
And now you have us. Thank you so much, Sarah. This was fantastic. Thank you for coming in and taking your time.
Yeah.
First one.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you for having
Sarah.
me.
I called you up, used to use your voicemail. It's been long enough. Now I'm wondering if your voice has changed. You know I've changed. Let's play pretend, 'cause I know that our egos are on defense, acting as our bodyguards. Have I been harsh? And I know it's easier to bury all the memories, but the bones still lay beneath. And the river still flows, even if you are to give it down. So join me where the lake and river meet. Call me naive. I thought that time would heal all wounds that run deep, caught in a revolving door. But I want more. I've been tongue-tied, writing out my lines to get peace of mind. Lately I've been coming up short, but I want more. And I know it's easier to bury all the memories, but the bones still lay beneath. And the river still flows, even if you are to give it down. So join me where the lake and river meet. Oh, 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 and I know it's easier to bury all the memories, but the bones still lay beneath. And the river still flows, even if you are to give it down. So join me where the lake and river meet. So join me where the lake and river meet. So join me where the lake and river meet.
Well, thank you very much for that, Sarah. It was a pleasure chatting with you. And that's all for this edition of Better in Stereo.
We'll be back next month with more.
Perfect.
Bye. Better in Stereo is recorded live in studio at Blueprints.
Audio engineering by Mac Davis.
Edited by Jean-Paul DeRover and Aaron Collins.
Mixed by Jean-Paul DeRover.
Where the Lake and River Meet, written and performed by Sara Kae.
Watch the live in-studio performance on YouTube or at blueprintsaudio.com/betterinstereo.
Follow us on Instagram at Better in Stereo Podcast.
You can listen to Better in Stereo wherever you get your podcasts.